Hey there, Poke fans. I'm Kevin,
I'm Heather.
and this is PokéMonday. Welcome back to Let's Play Games West Virginia, the channel of West Virginia streamers that has something going on every day of the week. We took a break last week, and we are now back to it. So welcome to PokéMondays.
Welcome. It looks like we are jumping right in with a Kyogre raid. Kyogre. So this was my first Kyogre raid. I missed what had happened was during the first time that Kyogre was released, I was not very active in raids. And in fact, I didn't do any raids during that point in time, so I didn't have any before this, which means that this was a very anxious attempt at catching. I found that for me, Kyogre was much more difficult to catch than Groudon, whatever. So I was quite nervous the entire time, plus my lack of golden raspberries made it a little bit more difficult to make these things happen. So every single ball I get here, I'm like nervously shaking on this, right above the screen, hovering before I can attempt to catch it.
Or did you, was the distance trouble? Is that why you were throwing straight balls?
No, the distance wasn't the trouble. I found that Kyogre moved a whole lot on the screen. You can see him go to the side. He will switch sides very quickly. So I stopped opting for the curveball because I never knew at what point he was going to go off to the side. So I started, in my nervousness, mixing regular shots in.
I still haven't made it to a Kyogre raid. So that means I don't get one. Unless you wanted to trade me one.
Well, I only have two, but since we're married, I will trade you one.
Thanks.
So Kevin, because of some of the scheduling and weather and whatnot, did not get to a Kyogre raid, which is a little sad. Because we went to several Groudon raids.
We went to like 12.
We did a lot. And I had some trouble finding enough people to consistently do Kyogre raids. So I found that I went to a couple, hooked up with people on Discord, and that was the only option for me to do Kyogre raids due to schedules. I know our typical group did continue on, but we opted to leave early for our what was that called? Boulder Cup.
Yeah, it was the PvP Boulder Cup that we did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so we left early that day, which meant that I had to forage for other battlers with myself.
But you finally got that nice purple new Pokemon screen.
I did, and it will be a fairly good water defender. You can see that it's got Blizzard there.
Yeah, those are decent IVs too.
So for many of them, you can tell what kind of charge move it's going to have based on what it suggests for your Pokemon defenders. One thing, if Kyogre does have Blizzard, that meant that your best kind of defense Pokemon are going to be electric. So those, you can tell if it suggests to you things like Electabuzz or Electivire, Zapdos, whatnot, then it's probably going to be a Blizzard charged attack. So just as you are looking at raids, that may be helpful for you in thinking about these things. You can see here, this is my second catch. I can't remember what charge move it had on this one. I guess I could check my Kyogres. And there's a Spoink outside. Details on that one in a little bit. So I have one Kyogre that is 87% on the internal, the IVs, and that one has Blizzard. And then the other one is 82% IV, and it has Thunder as its charged move. Yeah, so that was a little bit interesting to get two very different charged kind of moves.
Counters for each other.
Yeah, counters, basically.
Yeah, so Kyogre is no longer in level 5 raids, right?
That is true. You hopefully had a chance to go to Groudon and Kyogre raids. If not, you did miss them. However, as we have seen with Pokemon historically, those things are not sealed 100%. The tomb is never fully sealed. So we saw Kyogre come back. We saw Groudon come back. We've seen the birds relentlessly. We've seen the 3 dogs. We've seen Ho-Oh and Lugia come back in addition to in the boxes. So the only things that we haven't seen are Latias, Latios, Rayquaza, and we've even seen the Reggies again. What are the other? There's another one. I'm forgetting. If somebody knows, tell us in the chat. But anyway, other than Rayquaza, and what did I just say? Sorry, my brain is gone. Latias and Latios. Other than those, we've pretty much seen all of the other legendaries and big movers a couple times. So I'm hoping that that will come about because I still don't have a Rayquaza. That's a pretty big price tag to trade with somebody, so I have not even asked that of that. But I am hoping that we'll get those.
Rayquaza is useful in the next raid boss, right?
Yeah, so Rayquaza is going to be helpful for you if you have a Rayquaza with dragon moves. So Palkia, however you say it, which is the current Tier 5 raid boss, is susceptible to both dragon moves and to fairy moves. So if that is something that you need your newest and latest Mon, Palkia is in raids already, and from what I'm hearing, I haven't seen too many people complain about the catchability of it other than the iPhone issue where people were missing the distance that it takes to get to Palkia. But Palkia was similar in stature to, was it Mewtwo? Groudon. So they're similar in size, but Palkia seems to be quite far away. So people were having issues catching that one. But your dragon Pokemon are going to become quite essential for this. So things like Dragonite, if you need a budget counter, things like Alolan Executor will be helpful because they oftentimes have dragon moves. Rayquaza, of course. Even things like Gyarados with the dragon move Outrage will be helpful. For your fairy counters, if you do not have wonderful fairy counters, things like Donphan may have a fairy move. Clefable would be a good option for that. Gardevoir has fairy moves, so as you're thinking about these, don't necessarily think about don't think that you have to have a particular Pokemon for this. You can do what you can to make sure that you are beating this boss. So there is a list out of the best counters. The top ones are Rayquaza, other Palkias, Dragonite, Latios and Latias, and Salamence. So those are your best dragons. Other counters, Gardevoir, as we said, Togekiss, if you have an effective one. Sorry, my brain has just... Giratina, sorry. My brain sometimes just goes out. So
I have very few of the top tier Pokemon. Like I think I have maybe one. I think I have a Dragonite, and that's it. So definitely I'm gonna have to. I haven't even built the 2 teams yet. So because of the way that works, it may behoove you to build 2 teams so that you can switch based on your recommended party between the fairy and the dragon types.
Yes. So with that in mind, whoever it is, the troll on the internet who does these silly little cartoon best counters graphic, we appreciate you. So if Palkia has Draco Meteor, the special move, the charge move, if Palkia does have that, your best alternatives are going to be things like Groudon, Togekiss, Gardevoir, even Granbull possibly, and Gyarados. If it does not have that dragon move, you're going to want to pull out all of your dragon options. So if it does not have the dragon move, go with dragons. If it does have the dragon, go with fairy.
Because you're going to end up in a super effective crunch if you don't do that, right?
Absolutely. So you will be throwing dragons against a dragon move, which will not be super effective. But again, depending on how many people you have in the raid, that may not matter so much. But if it needs to count, then super effective is the best mode of operation.
How many more weeks do we have the legendary bird, legendary dog 7-day research? Because I'm over it.
Well, that's sort of unclear. We have not heard any kind of announcement of new boxes, of research boxes so far. Additionally, we've not heard any news about new field research. So, as far as we know, there are the exact same January field research tasks as with February, in addition to the same 7-day research boxes as January. So there's no end in sight, really, for this. I'm just hoping that I can luck out on an extra Zapdos, because I have traded away several of my Zapdos, so I think I only have 2, maybe 3. And not that I need a whole host of them, but I do like to have several, just in case I'd like to trade.
I've gotten 2 Zapdai from
Zapdoses.
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 Zapdomata. Anyway, from the 7-day research. But I did hatch a shiny Azuriel, who is a fun little mint green mouse.
Look at it! It's so cute!
And I kind of was annoyed because I pretty much had quit recording the hatches because I'm kind of over that as well. And then I got that nice little mint green mouse.
I have never hatched a shiny Pokemon.
That's the first shiny Pokemon I've ever hatched.
Ever?
Ever.
I've never ever hatched a shiny Pokemon. And I hope that I just spoke it into existence. That would be excellent.
But yeah. I like the little mint green mouse.
Yes, it is adorable. And as much as I would like you to trade it to me, I know that you get to keep shinies too, so you get to keep it. But
I could trade you a little green mouse for a Kyogre.
No.
I've been able to enjoy him for like a week or 2 now.
I'm not gonna say no, but
yeah, I keep like catching the nose passes with the plan of like saving a decent one for the next evolution. And then I just don't because I'm like, nose pass, and just right into the wood chipper.
Do you find that you're getting very decent IVs on these?
I'm not even checking because I forget about it. I forget about it in the moment. Like I remember.
What if you've thrown away a really great one?
I probably have.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I haven't even like, I remember to catch them, but I haven't remembered to check them.
I think that my best, let's see, hold on. My best nose pass is, I have it marked here for Gen 4 evolution, currently is a Wonder HP attack exceeds. So that's pretty good. Decent. That's probably somewhere in the 90s, depending now on CP does factor into the IVs now. So without having put it into PokéGenie or one of the other various IV apps, I don't quite know, but.
Hey look, it's me in the giant go glitch.
It's you stuck!
Again, still. This happened in 4 Groudon raids to me.
For you, yeah. So, unfortunately, we did not have a stream last week. We were otherwise occupied and just did not make it to stream. So, you are seeing some of our footage from a week or 2 ago, in addition to some of our new footage. So because we have been out and about, we're showing you what we've been doing lately.
Yep.
Which is why you're seeing some Kyogre and Groudon raids still. Not that they are current, they are former. So as of, what was it, January 30th, I believe?
Oh yeah, which is the end of last week.
29th, 30th, one of those days. That's when Palkia began to come into raids, and there's a huge announcement about it, and everybody's like, oh my god, this mythical dragon! Yeah.
So Jason joined us in the chat. Hey Jason, thanks for tuning in. I really wanted an ice blue Gatorade Psyduck.
I know! So Gatorade Blue Psyduck looked really awesome, but I didn't have any luck with that.
No, I didn't see a single one.
Not a single one. Those rates were supposed to be about like Cubone and Ponyta were with the special event, due to the, was it Safari Go event, I believe, happening in South America region. Was it South America? God, my brain has just farted and lost all of its information. Anyway, we had a release of a shiny blue Psyduck, which looks really, really cool if you haven't seen it, but we haven't seen it in person, either of us, so that's a little bit sad.
Yep. Which is a bummer. What is not sad is the 900th Entei that I've caught.
Yeah. No, that's actually very sad.
Yeah.
It's sad that you've caught that many.
I don't know how many yet, but I'm just over them.
But
I did finally get to evolve this guy.
Hey! So you got now your Bronzong.
Yep.
Bronzong.
I have a medium difficult time catching enough of these to get candies for it.
I found that Bronzors were very flighty. Yeah. Oftentimes I would throw a ball at it and it would just run away.
But I did want this Pokédolek, so...
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Apparently I have an app crash that just happened, so yeah, you're seeing that.
And apparently I forgot to edit it out, so there we are.
Yeah. Well, I have also been having some difficulties with the new app update. I find that as I click on a Pokemon and go to check it, that sometimes it still shows the background of the main Pokemon Select menu, or it will glitch out, or it will be really slow in loading. So I don't know if any of you all have experienced that as well with this new update, but I kind of was willing to overlook that for the new Pokemon release.
You showing off some Pokemons here?
I'm not really sure what's happening. Again, it's been a long time since I recorded this, so I don't know what I'm looking for.
I don't know. You were
Let's see what I'm looking for.
You have a bunch of Scoorupies. I don't think I've seen that many.
Yeah, I kept them. I actually saw an evolved form out in the wild the other day, but it ran away before I could catch it.
Oh, bummer.
So I guess I was just showing off. Oh, I remember now. So right as I had evolved my Bronzor, as soon as I started to see the little glyph of Bronzong, my app crashed. So I wanted to go back in and find it, but I couldn't find it in my my list of Pokemon library to get there.
I definitely thought I did edit this out. Oops. So this is how you check Discord to coordinate people with raids. Yes, so you can see there I have my recommended suggestion list. I also have my Discord open and my Kyogre raid. So, but you know, night mode for the win there.
Night mode?
Yeah, you can turn Discord on night mode so that it's all dark colors, kind of like the chat here in Twitch, rather than like bright white in your face.
Yeah, I never switched that out.
I always choose night mode. It's like way easier on the eyes.
Yeah, I just don't do that. Oops.
Yep.
Oh well.
Do you want to trade me a Kyogre?
Sure. Right now on the stream?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Okay. So
and you wanted a C-Dot, right? No.
No, you're a C-Dot. Look at this hat. He's literally a C-Dot right now. Oh, I guess I should go to your Pokemon Trainer page.
Yeah, all of my app, like every app on my phone crashed just a second ago.
So I got a Moltres this week. Moltres, Trace. I don't care. I just pronounce things like that wrong anymore. Whatever. So that means then that I have gotten a Suicune, Suicune, like I said, Suicune. That's a sweet raccoon. I have gotten Entei, I have gotten Moltres, Articuno, and now Lugia. So, yeah.
I haven't seen a Lugia at all in the 7-day. It's just been, I've seen Articuno and I've seen Zapdos, and that's been about it for as far as birds go.
I saw one, but I also readjusted my 7-day streak so that I would be able to get 5 in this month.
At least the PennDOT can keep their roads clear, unlike that state to the south.
Maybe.
J-Gro.
Maybe. Okay, I'm trying to get in the trade window, Kevin.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so what is it that you want?
I want the Orca Whale.
Orca Whale. Oh, I don't think I have one of those. So we're doing a live trade, a special trade, Pending that we both have enough Stardust, because
Oh yeah, I have no idea if I have enough Stardust.
somebody decided to use all of his Stardust for the Boulder Cup.
Yeah. Check out that shiny mint green mouse.
Azurill. And he's gonna get this 82 IV Kyogre, which will of course be re-rolled as we trade.
Although with my luck, it will end up as probably like a 6 IV.
So it's only 40,000 Stardust because we're BFFs. Yeah. So here we are.
So there we go.
Doing the bamboozle trade.
Send it.
Send me that mouse. So that's probably better than us catching yet another
Ta-da!
legendary bird. Look at it. It's so cute.
And that is a new Pokemon for me.
Check your IVs. Attention HP exceed. So it's not bad, not great. But for shinies, that's a fairly high IV rate. I find that most of the shinies I get, their IVs are just in the garbage. I've had a handful, maybe not even that are decent. But, ooh, Dippin' Dots. I would love some Dippin' Dots. C-Dot, not so much. Dippin' Dot, absolutely. Actually, C-Dot reminds me of a little awkward acorn. I know that's probably the intent, but...
He's a 48% IV Kyogre.
48%!
Yeah, that.
Big spender over here.
Yep, so that kind of hurt. But at least I got the new Pokemon.
That's true. And I got a shiny Azurill. Now, if I could just catch this Moltres, that would be excellent, because then we could move on to more interesting footage.
So if you're new to the stream, we record our Pokemon Go footage throughout the week. We don't do any spoofing on the channel, and
we don't do any spoofing, period.
Yeah, that's true. But
you said on the channel.
The channel contains no spoofing, of which we do no spoofing. And so then we can talk about that and do fun things like a live shiny trade on stream.
Woo!
Oh look, it's another Articuno. It was cool. Like, if I hadn't done the legendary bird day, like I would have been excited for this.
The bird.
But we went out for the legendary birds like 3 times. So
that's
the
true.
only ones I didn't have a whole bunch of were Zapdos, and that's been the one that I've ended up the least with here.
Yeah, same. I don't think I've ended up with the Zapdos at all. I can't remember. It's been so long. There's like so many Pokemon things.
I think I have 2 from the 7-day research, guys.
Bada. So this is me attempting to catch this without any golden raspberries. So I'm using silver pin apps. But this is one thing that I have been very fortunate about. I have been able to secure several field research tasks with the reward of silver pin apps. In the last probably 4 days, I found 2 research tasks that had the reward of 5 silver pin apps for spinning 10 Pokestops.
Oh, geez.
Which is like ridiculously easy. Yeah, those are free. So I now have resupplied my silver pin apps, of which I had 0 because I had been using them all on these special birds and on things like Groudon and Kyogre.
Especially if you have the Pokeball Plus, which is going to spin those stops for you automatically.
Right.
Those really do end up as basically just free silver pine apps.
Absolutely. So I would continue to suggest to you to mine your field research tasks, because it is quite possible that if you complete one at a stop that you'll get a different one from that stop. Or if you see several Pokestops in a row, check the first one. See if it's worth getting 4 regular raspberries, or discard it, and then have a better option for your next Pokestop.
I need to trade a Pokemon to your Let's Go so I can get it in the Meltan box, because I have not had one like a month.
We could do that after the stream.
Okay.
All right. I need to do that as well. I'm looking to get another Meltan. So I have,
Another Melmetal?
Yes, that's what I meant. I have another probably 150 to 200 candies to go for my second Melmetal. But
oh, man.
If you use pin apps on every single one, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I pretty much quit trying to acquire the Meltan boxes after I had a Melmetal. And so I don't think I've done it in weeks.
Have you finished your box or your tasks?
Nope.
Tell us about that a little bit, Kevin.
Yeah, there's some footage later on here, but I have been struggling to catch executes since November. The catch 5 executes. I saw 3 this weekend, by the way.
Oh yeah, I saw
So-
like 3 today.
Yeah, but from November, and there's been times where like 2 of them will pop up on her app, and then I'm like, nothing. So yeah, since November, trying to catch 5 executes. It's absolutely ludicrous.
So where are you stuck now?
I need Omanites or Anoriths or Lileeps or the other one.
Okay, so Kabuto,
Yeah.
Omanite.
Yeah.
So Kabuto or Ammonite, words. Omanite or Kabuto as one.
And Lileep and Anorith for the other
Lileep or Anorinth as another one, and you've gotten the Aerodactyl, right?
through a research task, yeah.
So that's the check the fossils part.
Yeah.
The check the fossils stage of that.
Yep. And yeah, there's actually a couple of researches out that will help you if you're stuck at that part of the quest. There's a Cubone research task and an Aerodactyl task out now. So definitely pay attention to those. Those are the same everywhere, right?
What do you mean?
The tasks and the rewards.
Yeah.
So the one was use 5 raspberries to catch to help catch a Pokemon, and that one was Cubone, I think, and I don't know if I remember what the Aerodactyl one was.
It's use a special item to evolve.
Oh, right.
I actually, through that field research, was able to get a 93% Aerodactyl.
Nice.
So that's exciting.
I think that's actually what's happening now here.
Woo!
So
Perfect timing.
that was my 5th execute, I believe. I was
Blah,
talking
blah.
while that happened, so I didn't actually see it.
Professor Willow, just give us the scoop. So you evolve a Drowsy, catch a Cubone, and evolve a Scyther. So you were able to wipe those out pretty quickly?
Yeah, reasonably quickly. Like I think I got most of those done in just a few days. I had a lot of the stuff already ready to go.
Nice. So
Hey,
you were...
it's Gage. Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. Is there particular information you're looking for, like how many Pokemon seen or how many caught, or just want to see a scroll through?
Unfortunately, what you are seeing on the screen there is previously recorded, so we would have to sort of hold up our phones up in this sort of way to show you our Pokedex. But as you can see, Kevin is working through the Meltan special research currently. He didn't finish it during the optimal window in which Gen 1 stuff was available. So.
For which the app punished me severely.
Oh yeah.
From November until this week to catch 5 executes.
5 executes. Yeah, I finished it on the very last day of the Gen 1 bonanza event, if you will. So I finished probably 2 or 3 portions of that quest on the last day. So let's see. Pokedex. How many caught?
So I have caught 406 and seen 425.
I have caught 426 and seen 439.
So you're about 10 ahead of me on each scale.
So with the new release, I have not seen some of those, and with the new Gen 4 releases, and with the new Gen 4 evolvable ones, those are some of the ones that, because of the lack of Sinnoh Stones, I haven't been able to stay up on that, which is a bummer.
And that's the whole purpose of the Sinnoh Stone, is to pump the brakes on being able to finish that, which is a bummer.
Yeah. But in the Johto region, the only one I need are Unknown and number 235 that hasn't been released yet. In Gen 3, in the Hen region, I need Torkoal, which is a regional exclusive, and I need Tropius and Relicanth, regional exclusives, and the others are Rayquaza, as I talked about earlier in the stream, and let's see, what else? Just some of the ones that they haven't released yet. So all I'm down to basically is Sinnoh Pokemon, some of which have been released, and I just haven't had the option to. I'm kind of waiting. I know this might be silly, but I kind of want to find a shiny Murkrow before I evolve to a Honchkrow. So that's sort of last on my list. I know it's a good dark type counter, but I also have Weevil ready as a dark type counter, so
So there was that research task of use a Raspberry to catch 5 Pokemon, and I was able to snag that Cubone.
Woo!
I don't know that there's a way to prompt a Ditto. There was a research quest last month where Ditto was a result, but I don't know that there's currently a gameable way to produce a Ditto.
Yeah, and it seems like most people on Reddit have sort of gone dark about Dittos, so I don't know about that one. Now, it is true that our tasks, the field research tasks, have currently stayed the same from January, but I don't think Ditto is one of those, since I do have a list here of our field research tasks.
There's also a list of Pokemon which are more likely to be Dittos, and those are generally like your common type Pokemon. So you could grab one of those lists and check all of those. I was able to use a Sinnoh Stone here for the Gardevoir evolution. And so that was one that you wanted to, when you were catching Kirlia, to make sure you had a male and female, and make sure of decent IVs of both, since you're going to use different evolutions for each one. So that was another new Pokemon for this week, plus the Shelgon before. So I think that was 3 new Pokemon for the Pokedex this week, which is pretty good.
So you have not yet evolved a Bagon?
True.
Is that true? All right, so if you have not, I would encourage you to do that so that you have a Salamence for the Palkia raids. That will be a good dragon counter for you with very high damage per second, so DPS, as you'll see them call it. That would be a good option for you if you haven't evolved and you have the candies.
So it's Gage, if you've been out of the game for a while, let us know how long you've been out. There's been some pretty major changes to the game, including PvP and ranked PvP battles through the Sylph League, which can allow you to go to local, regional, and then maybe eventually Go Fest, which is pretty cool. We went a few weeks ago and got our asses handed to us, and it was fun. So if you're interested in building a team and putting that against the skills of other trainers in your area or places you travel to, the ranked PvP through the Sylph League, which you would go to thesylphroad.com and also do sylph.gg for the ranked league battles. That's how you make that happen.
Sorry about the Ditto. I feel bad because
there's currently, as far as I know, no way to even really increase your odds other than checking each of the potential Pokemon. I think there's 15 or 18 like known Ditto.
I don't think it's that high.
It's like 6 in each generation.
No, they're like 6 or 8 total.
Well, now we gotta check.
Okay, you go check. Things that could be Ditto are Pidgeys. We have seen them as Rattata. We have seen them as Ghastly. We have seen them as, was it Natu, I believe? We have seen them, there are a handful of them.
Oh, this is old.
You do have to catch them. As you catch it, it will go like the old sort of image screen. It'll pop up purple and say OH question mark, and then it will turn into a Ditto, in which it will immediately update your task as having been completed.
Okay, there are 11 potential Pokemon, which is close to 16. Pidgey, Rattata, Zubat, Ghastly, Mankey, Sentret, Yanma, Hoot Hoot, Zigzagoon, Whismur, and Gulpin. There might be... Yeah.
So that's about it.
I think that's the current list, or that might be 2018.
Hey, there's my shiny Taillow that I evolved into a Swellow and looks really swell. And here's also a new catch that I found earlier today, Combi. As part of the new Gen 4 releases, I found this one. In addition to, what was it? Now my brain has dropped it. Cranidos. I caught a wild Cranidos the other day. So those are my first 2 new releases that I have caught. Combi super cute, turning into none other than Vespiquen or Vespic Queen. I mean, let's be real. It's a bee turning into a queen. So that's what that will eventually turn into.
I haven't seen any of the new ones yet.
Supposedly they have been quite rare, but in the last day, I have seen 2. So I think they're becoming more common. And this is the Cranidos. I actually saw this last night. Is that true? Yes, last night. And then I saw the Combi today. We just had, footage backwards. So this little guy evolves. It will turn into Rampardos, which is another of these sort of legacy kind of rock-like Pokemon. Fossilized. Sorry, go on.
No, I just realized I did not reorder your footage from yesterday and today, so this is in any random order.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why.
Yep.
So, Cranidos, cute little derpy dinosaur.
I like him a lot. I want one.
Is it his head?
Yes.
Why do you like his head?
I don't know. It's like the Pokemon that, or not Pokemon, the dinosaurs that do the head jousting in Land Before Time.
Oh, Land Before Time. That's it. That's really what's going on here.
Head jousting. That's a
head jousting. Otherwise known as head butting. But
Hey, you got another Beldum. That's useful for nothing.
Nothing. Not a thing.
I mean, it would have been exciting prior to the Meltan Community Day.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I just am videoing me sending gifts. Sorry, people, for that. I think I forgot to turn off the record button, and now I'm just sending friends gifts and opening them. So, sorry about that.
Oh, there's Jason with the dinosaur that it's based on.
Stigmolek. Stigmolek.
If you're not careful, you're going to summon an Old Testament demon.
The Behemoth.
Not that one.
Oh.
But yeah.
All right. So yeah, with moving on with our new Pokemon that have been released, as we have seen the 2 that I've caught. Other things that we are going to see hopefully are Glameow, which is, it looks like Glameow, but meow at the end. And also its evolved form Purugly, which I agree that Pokemon is ugly. We also are going to see, what else? Shieldon and Bastiodon, so other kinds of dinosaur types. We are also, we have been given the opportunity to evolve new Pokemon, or old Pokemon into new forms. Things like Ambipom, which comes from Apom. Things like Licky Licky, which I hate that name, coming from, obviously, Lickitung. Yeah, which is awful. Also a field research reward right now, I believe. My brain has just gone. So maybe another Lickitung is in eggs. So there's another piece of random Pokemon trivia from my brain. Other ones that can now evolve are Tangela into Tangrowth. You can evolve Yanma into Yanmega. You can evolve, as we talked about earlier, Kirlia into Galade, or Galade. And additionally, the one that breaks my heart the most is you can evolve a female Snorunt into a Frostlass. But, I say keyword but, unlike the other ones, you evolve from Snorunt and not from Glalia, whichever that one is, the weird face. You evolve from Snorunt into Frostlass, but only the female. So female Snorunt evolves into Frostlass. Why it breaks my heart so much is because, well, anticipating this, I took my 100% IV Snorunt that was a female and evolved it into Glalia, whatever, anticipating that it would need to have a final form like all of the other ones that require special stones to evolve. But you evolve it from a Snorunt. So I now have missed out on a 100% IV Frostlass because reasons. So I'm a little bit sad. I got that in a raid, which we have footage of if you want to go back through the archives. But now I just have a 100% Glally, or Glalia. Who cares? It's not even relevant. So I'm a little bit salty about that one.
But as you mentioned, we have all of our streams backed up on YouTube. Just search for LPGWV_Kevin, and you should find them there. They are just the same streams. They're not edited or condensed or anything, so if you enjoy sitting through this, or occasionally 6 hours of Pokemon Let's Go, all of those videos are there.
So we did do a stream the first weekend that Pokemon Let's Go was released. If you want to go check that out, it's on YouTube, and there's me yelling at who I named Scary Gary. So, not to be confused with Scary Terry from Rick and Morty. Sorry, brain.
Good times.
Good times. Anyway, why am I doing a raid that is quite possibly totally irrelevant? Well, I'll tell you. So today, I decided to do a Shinx raid because I still don't have Shinx's final form. So I did a raid earlier and still had an egg and star piece on. So then I decided to make my way towards, my dwelling place. And on my way back, I got the word that there was another raid happening, and it had still about 10 minutes left on it. And it was easy enough for me to do by myself. So I decided to go ahead and do this raid, which is Azural's final form.
So about what level raids are you able to solo at this point? Because you're almost to level 40, right?
I am. I'm about 1,000,000 XP, almost. I'm 1,000,000 XP away from level 40 currently. And before this new switch that they've done, I'll talk about that in a second, I have been able to do level 1 and 2, and sometimes level 3 tier raids by myself. That being said, if it's tier 3, I have to have excellent, super effective counters in place to beat that. But as we saw with the newest Pokemon release, they did do some re-evaluation of the CP for some of the battle, or some of the raid bosses. Raid bosses have been re-evaluated, so they're a little bit more difficult to beat, which means that Pokemon that you used to be able to beat by yourself, maybe not so much anymore. So even at level 40, I still have difficulty, well, almost level 40, sorry. Even at level 39, I still have difficulties with tier 3 raids. So if you're down on yourself about not being able to do that, don't feel so bad. I too am in your situation. So that's where I am.
If you tuned into the stream before, you'll know that after half of the game's playtime is between level 37 and level 40, but you can continue to accrue experience points after level 40. So the current level cap is 40. Your level won't go up at any time. There's been rumors and discussions about whether that level cap will be raised and at what point, but as of now, it's still a breakneck race and then a slow race from about 35 up to hit that level 40 cap.
So to get from level 39 to 40, you have a whopping 5 million experience points to garner before you can reach level 40. So I am in the final stretch. I have 1 million left to go. I've been on that for quite a while, obviously.
You've made fast progress through level 39, though.
I have, through going to several raids and using eggs and star pieces, leveling up with friends with eggs on, so lucky eggs, making sure that I have a lucky egg on while I add new Pokemon to my Pokedex. Yeah, really capitalizing on all of the potential experience points. That has helped me to level up quite quickly.
Especially coordinating best and ultra and best friend levels. Those are additional 100 and 200,000 experience points for the cost of a lucky egg. So definitely something you want to pay attention to. That does mean you have to go through your friends, and if you tap on the friendship level, it'll tell you how many more days of gameplay events until you level up. Those are not calendar days, those are gameplay days. So if you play together, that means trade a gift, go to a raid, trade a Pokemon, do a battle. Do a battle?
Battle.
Do a battle.
Just battle.
No, I'm thinking PvP battle. Anyway,
trainer battle.
So if you do a trainer battle on Tuesday and you do nothing on Wednesday, that Wednesday doesn't count towards your friendship day. So definitely want to keep curating your gifts. Now that we can reverse sort, you can definitely pay attention to your lower ranked friends and get them higher, and milk that for all the XP it's worth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been super effective. Do
you have an idea about how long it'll take you to get to 40 from here?
So let's see. No, because 1 million is quite a lot of XP. So if you think about it, one tier 5 raid with a lucky egg equipped is 20,000 experience points.
Mm-hmm.
If you get to Ultra Friends with an egg on, it's 100,000 experience points. If you become best friends with somebody with an egg on, it's 200,000 experience points. So it would not surprise me if it took me another month to get that 1 million experience points. Depending on schedules and how much I can play. I think that's probably optimistic.
Cool.
I'll put it that way.
But yeah, it'll be exciting to finally get there because you've been in the grind for quite some time.
Don't worry, I'll let you know when that happens.
Fair enough.
So, as we are looking at this loading screen, one thing that we haven't talked about yet that has just been announced as of this afternoon is our Lunar New Year event. That is going to be our new thing happening, I believe, on the 4th. Is that correct?
That's today.
Is that today? Wait, let's look at the news because that's our best option here.
So the graphics for Lunar New Year are styled after the Chinese New Year celebration, which you use a lunar calendar. So anything that might appear on the Chinese zodiac will be an increased frequency during this period.
And this period is already happening because I totally forgot that today was February 4th. So, happy Year of the Pig. That means that we have a new shiny spoink that has a little blue black ball on its head.
But he's kind of creepy. He's creepy. Almost actual pig colored.
Yeah.
Like the pale pigs.
Regular pink pig.
And it's a little weird looking.
Yeah. So there's a shiny spoink that has been released. We also have a higher percentage of things like Rattata, Ekans, Mankey, Ponyta, Electabuzz, Dratini, Mareep, Miltank, Torchic, Puchania, Spoink, and Bunnyary. So those will be spawning more often because those are the typical animals that are portrayed in the sort of yearly calendar. Additionally, there is 2 times catch XP. So this would be a great time to use lucky eggs to speed up your XP acquiring process. Additionally, there is 2 times the Stardust when you're evolving Pokemon. So if you put a lucky egg on, that means that it's going to be probably 3 times the experience points because it's, the 3 or 4 times.
Or a star piece as well if you're going to milk the Stardust bonus.
Yes, absolutely. So as you're doing that, make sure that you are also trading with your friends. There is an increased rate of lucky Pokemon, being that it is the Chinese New Year. We're going to see more lucky Pokemon. So if you've been waiting around to trade with people, now's the time.
So if you were, for instance, trying to build a patrol of 100% IV Pidgeys, you may end up with 4 lucky Pidgeys, like me.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm actually going to have an entire PidgeyCon, and I'm going to find all of the pro Pidgey Pokemon players, and
which of
all
there are
4
0
of us are going to hang out, and it's going to be really cool.
Which there is 1 of you.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So, happy Lunar New Year.
Go get your Palkia, whatever, and go get yourself a shiny pig. I don't know what else to say.
Thanks for tuning in. This is Let's Play Games West Virginia. We stream every day of the week. We have something different. Our ticker tape at the bottom will tell you our schedule. Sundays we start off with Mr. Snarf's Neighborhood, which is not actually the name. I just named it and no one ever corrected me. So that is 9 or 10 a.m. on Sundays. He's currently playing through Nier Automata. He's got to be close to the end of that because it's been like a 2-month-long process for now. Mondays is this, PokéMonday, with me, Kevin, and Heather. Tune in at 8 p.m. for the week in Pokemon Go. Tuesday is Andy versus the World, kind of a dealer's choice game where Andy streams, often from the PS4. Wednesday at 7 p.m., Katie plays survival horror games. So if you're into Silent Hill and games of that sort, that is definitely something you want to turn into. If you enjoy competitive card games, SMP plays Hearthstone. SMP plays Hearthstone at 8 p.m. on Thursdays. And Friday is again Andy with Dealer's Choice at 8:30. So check out and hang out with the Let's Play Games West Virginia crew. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next Monday.
Woo! Go catch some on!